Okay, so these are the exercises given to you. You might have faced some difficulty in solving this assignment. So we'll start with the first question, but rather than solving this question directly, we'll solve a different question that will have same kind of solution to this problem. Okay, so first of all, let's have like user needs to enter uh, phi value and add that value. So this is the question. So how to solve this question using Python? So first of all, you have to focus on this. User needs to enter phi value. So how a user can enter a value? So we know that to have an input from a user, we need input command. So using input command, you can ask the user to enter the value. Okay, so let us say I can have something like this. Let us say x is equal to integer input. Why integer? Because we have to convert the string into integer, so we are basically typecasting using this integer. Okay, let me write enter number 1. Now when I will run this line, what will happen is a user will be promoted for a value. I will repeat this step, let us say 5 times. So I can have 5 different values. Let us say that values are x, y, z, a and b. Let us say these are the 5 values. And now I want to perform addition between each of this. So what I can do is I can have a new variable, let us say sum, and I can do x plus y plus z plus a plus b. Okay, so this is the one way to do it. Now actually here I have to write, to enter 5 values I have to write this lines for 5 times, for x, for y, for z, for a and for b. So I can remove this part. Rather than remove, I can say rather than writing it 5 times, I can write that task one time and I can run that for 5 times. How to do that? To do that you need to write a for loop. So how to write a for loop for this? So let us have an example. So this is my screen where I am going to write a program, and this is the console or cell where I can see my output. So first let's write a program. So to prompt a user for a value, what I can do is a is equal to integer input enter number, enter number. Okay, now if I run this code, I am pressing F5 over here and this is the code. I am entering 3, press enter. So it has taken one input. Now for other variable I have to write the same thing, and so on and so forth for 5 items. So rather than doing this multiple times, what I can do is I can have a for loop for I in range. Now I need to do this task 5 times, so I will put a 5 colon. Indentation is required here. Why? Because indentation will define this is the part of body, a for loop. Okay, now I run this code and you will see what happens. I am entering my first number, so again it is asking 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so actually you can see now I have been prompted for 5 times. So this is how you can write a for loop. Now how to perform addition? So here there is a little issue. I am overwriting the same variable each and every time, so that is not the way to do it. So what I'll do here is I'll create an empty variable where I will store my sum after each time, or update my sum after each value. So what I'll do is sum is equal to sum plus a. So what will happen if I do this? So by writing this, what I'm doing is, if I write that line, what happens? First, user will be asked for first value. User will be asked for first value, or let us say first value a. Let us say small a. So I'm entering 5. Then in next line I have this sum is equal to sum plus a. Initially my sum was 0. So right now what would be the value of sum? It is 5. Now again for loop is running. That means again this code will execute. Again I will enter a new value for a. Let us say that is 10. What is the value of sum? It is latest value is 5. So what will be my sum is equal to a plus sum, or I can say it would be 10 plus 5. What would be the answer? 15. So that way I am updating my new value of sum. The same thing will happen for 5 times, and at the end I will have total sum of 5 user defined values or user entered values. So this is how you can write a for loop and perform a sum. Now there is no command which can print the answer, so I have to write print command which will print the answer. Sum of all number is, now I have to put my actual value. What is the value of total sum? So I would write a variable name, that is this variable. Okay, now I'll run this code. Now it is asking me for first value, let us say 5, second value let us say 10, third value let us say 1, 3 and 4. Okay, so the total is 23. So let us check that 10 plus 5 is 15, 16 plus 3 that is 19 plus 4 23. So you can see now that is the correct answer. This line is only printed 1. Why? Because this line is out of the loop. This is the out of the loop. My indentation is not presented over here. That's why this line is not part of this loop. Only this line and this line. These two lines are part of loop. So this is how you can use a for loop to perform a task number of times. Now suppose you have been asked to write a Python program to find exponential. What is the exponential? So we know that. What is exponential? We know that. What is exponential? Exponential is basically something like this. X is to y. Let us say 2 to 3. We know that 8 is the answer. But how to find out this exponential? Basically what we are doing is x into x into x. What we are doing is x into x into x y times. Or for this example I can say what will do 2 into 2 into 2 3 times. Okay, so this is how you find exponential. So what we can do is, in this program you can ask a user for two different values. What is your exponent and what is your number? So I'll ask for two values. Let us say my first value being x and second value is y. So I'll ask for two values, and that two value will be different. Enter a number, and this would be enter exponent. Okay. Now once I get that two values, what I have to do is I have to multiply the number exponent times or y times. So how to do that? It is very simple. What you will do is, I'll run a for loop. The simple way to do that is this: write a for loop for I in range y. This is number of times I am going to run this loop. How many times? Y times. Why? Because exponent is y times. So what I'll do, each time I will update my result with old result multiplied by x. This is how I am going to do this. What this will do, so in this case what will happen, in this case what will happen, here I am writing my for loop for I in range y, and here I have result is equal to result into x. What is the initial value of result? It would be 1, not 0. Why? Because if you multiply something with 0, it would become 0. The output would become 0. That's why I'll initiate my result with 1, and then I'm going to multiply with it x. Let us say x is 2, so answer would be 2. Again I'll do that. Now result would be 2 into 2, that would be 4. Again I will do that, so 4 into 2, that would be 8. Again I'll do that, so this time 8 into 2, that would be 16. So here you can see that 2 is 4 times, or for this 3 lines it would be 3 times. So what I am doing is, I am having the same line of code running through a loop to perform the iterations. So here same thing will happen for y times, and y is our exponent, so you will directly get your answer. Let us see it in an example. Okay, I'll print x. After each time the updated value of result, not x, we will print a result. Okay, I'll run this code. Okay, enter number 2 and my exponent would be 3. Okay, there is a traceback error. Result is not defined, so result is a new variable, so we have to declare it. Result is equal to two and 3. So now you can see, initially when first time this loop is executed, at that time result was 1, x was 2, so my answer would be 2. Second time, when again for the second time this loop executed, at that time result was 2, x was 2 again, so 2 into 2, 4 is printed. Again it can come back, result is 4, x is 2, 4 into 2, 8. So this is the correct answer. 2 power 3 is 8. So this is the correct answer. Rather than printing all this answer, we would print answer at the end. So can print exponent or you can print like the result or your answer is result. Okay, I have to put comma. Let us say 3 and 4. So answer is 81, and that is the correct answer. So this is how you can do exponent or power of a number. You can find the power of number using this way. Now this is the one way to do it. Now the second method is, you can use a while loop. with this same statement, but what I'll do is rather than using a for loop, I will use a while loop. So how to do that? So we know that while is entry control loop, that means until and unless the condition is satisfied, it will not execute. So I will change this with a while statement. So how many times I have to run this loop? I know that y times. Okay, so I'll have to make sure that this loop execute y times. So what I'll do is I'll have a counter which will start from 0 while y is greater than the counter. I need to run that program. Okay, so how this will execute, we'll see. Just a moment. Count is equal to, every time I'll increment my count by 1. So once the execution is completed for one time, loop executes for one time, then I'll update my count with 2. So one time execution is complete, so I'll update it with 1. Okay, let me explain that. What I'm doing is I have three variables now. First being x, y, result, and count. Initial value of count is 0, result is 1. Let us say x is 2 and y is 3. Okay, now I have this condition while count is less than y, or you can say written wordly like it is correct in both the y is greater than count, both are correct. Okay, I have this condition. If this condition is true, what I will do is result is equal to result into x, and once that execute, I will update my count equal to count plus 1. Okay, so initially when first time we execute this, value of count is 0 and y is 3. So condition is true, that means we'll execute this body. So result equal to result into x, 1 into 2. So my result would be updated with new value, that would be 2. Then I am updating my count equal to count plus 1. So 0 plus 1 would be 1. Again it will go back. Now what is the count value? 1. 1 is less than 3, correct? So again this will execute result into x. Result was 2, x is 2, 2 into 2, 4. What would be the count? Count would be 2. 2 less than 3, again it is correct. Again this loop will execute. I'll get 8 and I'll get 3. Again it will come back here, 3 less than y, correct? False. So immediately this loop won't be executed and will execute the next statement, that is after the while loop. Okay, what we want to do here is print our answer. So we'll print our answer at the end of the loop. Okay, so let's see whether it is doing it in or not. So this is my code. I'm running this code. My number is 2 and exponent is 3. So 2 into 3 is 8. Again you can see. Now if you want to print that table that I have printed, we can do that. Print x comma y comma result comma count. So we'll see each and every value of the. So you can see it is the same thing that we have done here. See 2 3, it is starting with 2 1. Why it is directly starting with 2 1? Because we are printing it inside the loop. After this 2 line of code will execute, that after that we are printing this. That's why when this line is executed, that time result would be 2 and not 1. If I print it outside one more time, I will get a desired output. Here 2 and 3. So you can see 2 3 1 0, 2 3 1 0, then 2 1 4 2 8 3, 2 1 4 2 8 3. So this is how you can do the same thing with a while loop.